What's up, guys? We're going to roll beats, and today I'm going to be introducing MIDI scales V2. So you're probably familiar with V1, which looks something like this. So this will be discontinued as of today because we have the newer version out. So I'll just go through the scales and the folders and stuff so you can see what's in there. A lot of research went into this. It took me about 2 to 3-ish years to make this on and off. Obviously not everyday working, but let's go through. So pentatonic, we have some pentatonic based scales here, and some of these are based on instruments as well. So there's a bunch here and there's subfolders. And then we just have the regular major minor. You probably saw me use this recently. And then we have the instrument. So these are instrument based scales. So these are the actual instrument mapped out on a piano so you can get that authentic sound. So for example, a guitar chord doesn't always translate to the piano roll one-to-one. So what I went ahead and did for some of these instruments is I mapped it out to the piano one-to-one. So if you want to play like handpan type melodies or just use the scales associated with handpans, all you have to do is drag the scale in and it'll work. It'll just work and it'll give you that core sound for that instrument. So I will be updating this a lot. I am working on the guitar version, but the guitar one is a little difficult because there's so much to go on. But yeah, so you'll get the updates to that. I'll be adding that. Hexatonic, these are pretty basic, right? Harmonic minor, harmonic major. You can see all of the modes within there. We have abnormal scales, so just like the scales people don't usually use often. So you can see there's a lot in here, okay? And again, a lot of researchers went into this because all these scales I've used to make some type of beat, at least once. So all of these do work. I didn't want to just add random scales in there that I didn't want to use, so I just picked the ones that I thought actually worked for at least the stuff that I wanted to make. So we have the penta scales and the hexa scales, hexatonic, pentatonic, for top melodies. So if you have trouble making top melodies, you can throw some of these in. It can make you a quick little melody there. So where a lot of the time went into is the style and emotion. So pretty much what I did is took all the genres I know and I researched to see what scales and modes would give me that authentic sound for that style easiest. So for cinematic to classical, these are the scales that work best. So if you're like, man, I want to make a orchestra score, but I don't know where to start, you could pick one of these scales and just throw some chords in, and it'll pretty much sound like an orchestra score or something in that genre space, right? So it's cinematic to classical, so it's kind of every genre in between. And then, you know, dark melodies, dark samples, these are the scales that will give you that core sound and so forth. So electronic, it's a very broad genre, so I just kind of included everything. And these are kind of the scales that will give you that sound. So that's pretty much it. Links will be in the description and comment section down below if you do want to check it out. I'll be using these. So now, since I am doing the promo, I'll be kind of branching off and doing a lot more scales now rather than just major minor. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and cook up with this. We could do like a trap beat. I'm just kind of click through some of these. We could do like a trap beat. Maybe let's do the soccer. This one sounds pretty cool. We can throw that in. So let's go ahead and make a little beat. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into this. So we have our soccer scale here, A sharp. So we're gonna be using this sound here. All right, like this synthy kind of bell thing. So let's go in here. I'm gonna just make this real simple. We don't need to kind of overcomplicate it. Let's go a little bit higher. So we're gonna start on A sharp because it's our root, and I'm gonna quantize this, and I'm gonna just go up. I'm gonna make like super basic melody, and then we can throw effects on top to kind of, and the same rules apply. We skip over the note here. Let's see that. Okay, sounding good. All right, I like that. So I'm gonna copy that over, and then I'm gonna add stuff on top so we can kind of go up here. And let's do like a little thing right here. See what that sounds like. All right, and then copy it over. And then now we can just go ahead and move on to like our counters and stuff like that. Next up, we have this sound for our counter. Okay, so I'm gonna just make this easy. I don't want this video to be super long, so I'm gonna take this, since we already kind of made this, and we're just going to paste this in, and this is pretty much how we're gonna do our counter. That's way too high. And we're just gonna flip this pretty much. I'm just using some easy hacks to just make a quick melody. And let's see how that sounds. Okay, that's very simple enough. Again, we will be adding effects to this too, so you don't want to overdo it because it'll kind of mess up some harmonies. So simple is best. And then we can go ahead and do our last one. All right, next up, we're gonna add our second counter, or we can kind of build this like an accent. So we have this little bell sound. Okay. So again, if you notice, I am literally cheating right in front of your eyes. If you look at this, I'm using the same notes, right? A sharp. And what is this at? A sharp. So guess what? We're about to use the same exact thing for this. Except we're just gonna place it. Actually, we can go to 1/3 step. And then I'm just gonna literally pull this up. Maybe that's too low. All right, and then we could just literally move this onto this side. Okay, and then pop that, and maybe something like that. Now I'm gonna turn these down so we can kind of hear what's going on. You probably throw like a double delay on that, a dual delay. That sounded kind of weird, but it'll be fine. All right, so I think that's good. Simple enough. Let's go ahead and throw some quick effects on, and then we can start to add the 808 and drums. All right, so for our first sound here, I went ahead and added just a little portal here, and this is just a preset I always use, trifecta synth wave. It's pretty much a halftime with a triplet gate on it. So this is what it sounds like off, and it really gives that dark vibe. And then same thing over here. You can see I just EQ'd a bit. I don't really like explaining like the basic stuff like leveling EQs because you can see it. But here we have freeze cut. Okay. I don't know where is this at. It's in here. Here it is. Freeze cut right there. And this is what it sounds like all solo. It pretty much just gives a lot of reverb and delays it. So play them together. All right, and then on this one, like I said, I literally added what I said I was gonna add, a dual delay. Pretty simple. I probably could pull that up a bit too, because I don't want it to be muddy. Yeah, I'm gonna push that a little bit more. Let's see. And then while we at it, let's pull it out. Okay, I think that's good. So let's go ahead and add our 808s and stuff. Now we're gonna go ahead and do our drums and our 808 and stuff. So I'm gonna turn these off because I don't like to ruin the end for myself. So here are our 808. And for this, same rules apply. All the same rules. It's just more or less notes or just switched up notes within the scale. So we can kind of take this harmony, this original, since we use A sharp a lot. You can kind of dance around that and see what works. So we can maybe start here. And let me change this back here. I want to kind of do this quickly. And then maybe we could do something like this. And then copy that over. And then I'm gonna actually throw in some drums real quick just so we can kind of see what this will sound like. We just want like an interesting rhythm. We don't want anything too crazy, so I'm gonna pull this in. Maybe we can move this one back here too. Okay, just something different. All right, and of course we don't want that to sound too high. We want to pull that down. Yeah, it sounds way better. All right, so now we're just gonna throw the rest of these in. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm literally just going to do like a, you know what? I don't need this in there. Actually, we delete that. Put that right there. Rest in peace, snare. So I think that'll be good. Let's, I don't know. Okay, yeah, I like that. That's smooth. All right, so that's all we need. We done. And of course I could like mix and stuff, but I think that's good enough. So I'm gonna play everything all together. And then yeah, let's play it. All right, that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.